The Naruto universe is filled with legendary shinobi whose names and reputations are known across the entire ninja world. For some, their titles become almost mythological in nature, capable of invoking widespread fear and panic, or alternatively, inspiring entire armies on the battlefield. For this video, I'm going to rank the top 10 Naruto nicknames based on in-universe recognition, intimidation factor, prestige and legacy, and also just how cool or unique they sound. I admit I am very biased, and so my list may be a bit different than some of yours. So feel free to make your own list down below, ranking your favorite nicknames in Naruto. Before I begin, I just want to emphasize that I will only be covering canon titles and nicknames, so fan-made ones like the Ghost of the Uchiha for Madara will not make the list, even though it definitely would if it were legitimate. But with that said, let's begin. Just outside the top 10, we have a tie. I literally couldn't choose between the third Hokage and the third Tsuchikage. On one hand, we have Hiruzen Sarutobi, known as the Professor. It may seem lackluster and boring, but something about a shinobi being so knowledgeable in the realm of performing jutsu that he's called a professor when no one else in the series has a nickname of similar regard, it really stands out to me. Especially as someone who taught the legendary Sannin, this nickname is unique, simple, and incredibly fitting. Tied with him is Aniki, who earned the nickname Aniki of both scales, or as he's most notably known, the Fence Sitter. I just like how both of these titles sound for him. But more importantly, there is history behind them as Aniki garnered a reputation of playing both sides during major conflicts, being indecisive or even refraining from action. It's why his decision to join the allied shinobi forces was such a change for his character that surprised everyone around him, and I think that deserves some recognition here. Kicking off our top 10, we're going with the tailed beast without a tail, Kisame Hoshigaki. Now this nickname isn't that clever, but it doesn't make it any less intimidating. Knowing what a tailed beast is capable of will make you second-guess approaching Kisame. Also known as the Scourge of the Hidden Mist, this man is a monster on the battlefield and can take on Jinchuriki with a scary level of efficiency. If I were in the Naruto universe and I had the option to fight a tailed beast, particularly the less OP ones, or Kisame, I'm not sure which one I would choose. That's how insanely apt this comparison and this nickname is. The number 9 spot on this list is going to another member of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen, and that's Zabuza, the Demon of the Hidden Mist. One of the first nicknames we got from the series, Zabuza's nickname really leaves an impression. Not only does it describe him as something inhuman, it gives us where he originates, the Hidden Mist. And when you see his bloodlust and fighting style, you come to find out why he's called this. But also, I can't help but think about his final moments of love and raw emotion, choosing to die as a man instead of a demon. Coming in at number 8 is the White Fang of the Leaf, Sakumo Hatake. I really wish we got to see more of this guy because, to be compared to the legendary Sannin, is definitely a testament to his power and reputation. And being Kakashi's father automatically grants you some credibility in the cool department. His white hair and blade made him instantly recognizable on the battlefield, to the point where people would mistake his own son for him. We see other nations know his title very well, from the hidden sand to the hidden stone, and more often than not, they are terrified of this man. There is incredible significance behind the Sakumo nickname, because he is known to have played a major role in the Second Ninja War, garnering both fame for his strength and leadership, but infamy for choosing his comrades over a mission. But like Obito, I also believe that the White Fang was a true hero, and his name should be honored. And I'm glad that Kakashi was able to inherit the spirit of the legacy and pass it down to his students, particularly Naruto. I'm giving the number 7 spot to Sorcery of the Red Sand. This is a personal favorite of mine. You know your nickname is crazy when it's a reference to how you spill so much of your opponent's blood that it changes the color of the battlefield. It's a visual that's striking and easy to place in your mind, and it also feels both chilling and unique. And just for that, Sorcery takes this spot. If it were up to me, I guess it is up to me, but if I were making a list, based off bias alone, Sorcery would probably be in the top 5 at least. Truly a sensational nickname that inspires fear commands respect and intrigue, and has a history to it as well. We have a three-way tie for the number 6 spot because it is shared among the members of the legendary Sannin. Yes, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade were christened the Sannin, and it almost feels blasphemous not to have legendary precede it. Each of them have their own nicknames, from the Toad Sage to the Slug Queen or Legendary Sucker, and also the White Snake. But nothing hits harder than the legendary Sannin. Everyone around the ninja world has heard of these three, and they are revered as some of the most powerful ninja in history, even among modern shinobi legends. They represented the peak of power throughout Part 1 and even the first half of Shippuden. All three of them were candidates considered for Hokage at some point, with Tsunade eventually getting the role. The title of Legendary Sannin might be one of the few titles in Naruto that is on the level of Kage, or maybe even beyond given their feats and overall status. Kicking off the top 5 is the God of Shinobi. It may seem cliche or uninspired, but I still get chills whenever this title is used to reference Hashirama Senju, and that's because he has the power and the feats to back up the legend of this nickname. Just the juxtaposition of God and Shinobi is enough to make you feel the weight of the title, and that Hashirama exists as more than just a man, more than just a ninja, but as someone who has transcended what should be possible in the realm of the shinobi world. When you think of the title of Kage, Hashirama barely comes to my mind because he feels too big for the title when compared to nearly everyone else who has held it after him in every village. And for good reason, because what is a Kage to a god? At the number 4 spot, we have the Yellow Flash. One of the most iconic nicknames in Naruto lore, really needs no introduction. Minato Namikaze was a legendary from Chapter 1, and the more we learn about him, the more he lives up to the legend. Entire armies were given run-on-sight orders whenever he appeared, and the Flying Raijin made him a living, breathing cheat code. Minato's speed and teleportation combined with his bright blonde hair was something instantly recognizable, easy to brand, paints a vivid picture in your mind, and puts fear into your heart when you consider that a yellow flash may be the last thing you ever see. The number 3 spot, no surprise here, is Kakashi the Copy Ninja. Kakashi really is just a very cool character and the literal poster child for "my reputation precedes me." The difference between Kakashi and some of the other names on this list is how we get to see people reacting to him in real time, all the time. Everyone knows this man to the point where it has become a meme about how worldwide he is. The nickname holds even more weight when you know the backstory of how he gained his Sharingan, the grief, sacrifice, and trauma associated with it. And it's also amazing to see all the tricks Kakashi learns through his Sharingan. You know it's serious when Kakashi lifts that headband, and evidently, so does everyone else in the ninja world. At number 2, we have the Sage of Six Paths. Where do I even begin? This title has everything: originality, myth, aura, and mystique. He's not just strong, he's the beginning. Where Hashirama is a god amongst men, Hagoromo is essentially just a god. It's such a unique title, and it rolls off the tongue incredibly well. And I love hearing how some of the greatest ninja of the modern era, from Jiraiya, Obito, Kakashi, Orochimaru, and Madara, all speak about him as this larger-than-life figure. And as we learn more about the origin of the Rinnegan, the Tailed Beast, Chakra, and Ninjutsu, and how Hagoromo is directly connected to it all, a nickname of such prestige only feels appropriate. There's a philosophical element to this as well, a sense of enlightenment. It implies wisdom, not just power, and there's something truly special about that. And at our number 1 spot is our favorite number 1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja, Naruto Uzumaki. Out of all the nicknames on this list, I think this one is the most fitting. Naruto is a maverick, an unorthodox genius with an underrated battle IQ and a unique approach to fighting. He's loud, unpredictable, and thinking more steps ahead than many people want to give him credit for. There's something so charming about him getting this nickname at the start of the series and watching him show us why he's called that every step of the way. I do wish they called him by this nickname a bit more later in the series, but it was used enough to leave a lasting impression. It's something that sticks in your mind, feels incredibly personal, and is singular in terms of titles and nicknames that really makes it stand out from the rest. And that does it for this video. That's my list. Tell me, what are your favorite titles and nicknames from the Naruto universe? Leave your rankings down below. Please leave a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.